Hi, my name's Katie. I'm in my final year at Manchester Metropolitan University and I am studying to be a primary teacher. I joined the First Generation programme when I was in my last year of Aquinas at college. I had no idea where I wanted to go to uni. I was really struggling to think of places to go that would fit me as a person. I'd never really travelled outside of where I live in Greater Manchester. And I'd applied for places like York and Chester and Liverpool and places everywhere just so I had lots of options. And then my college told me about the First Generation programme and how they'd come about to help people who had no experience with university, and like me, their family didn't go and they didn't have any friends that went or siblings. And it was so helpful, and I thought that is exactly what I need, because I felt so alone and I was struggling so much to get a good understanding of what I needed to do and how I needed to apply to something that I had no experience on, and that is exactly what the First Generation programme provide for. Growing up with two parents that never went to university and having 6 older siblings that hate education and they've never wanted a part of it, they've all gone into apprenticeships and gone into full-time jobs, was really hard for me. As when I told them I wanted to be a teacher, they were all slightly horrified and couldn't understand why I'd want to ever do that. And I felt so apprehensive and nervous about the whole process of joining university because I was on my own, and none of them understood UCAS or the process of having to pick a university and how nerve-wracking that was, because you know if you pick the wrong one and you move away and you don't like it, you're stuck there. And I was so nervous and I just felt completely isolated. So when I finally joined this scheme when I was in college, it was such a relief for not just myself but for my whole family, knowing that I had the support that they couldn't provide because they didn't understand. And I think that's so important for people like me that don't have that background of family that they can support. I think it's so important that people are offered the same opportunity that I was. The First Generation programme can change your whole perspective on joining university. It made me completely change the way I looked at it. I was so nervous and worried about joining, and I was debating not going at all because I felt like I was completely on my own and I had no support. So I felt like, what's the point in joining when I'm going to be there for 3 years, not know anyone, not understand what I'm doing, and be alone? And then this scheme came up and I got to have all these friends that I've still got now. The experiences that this generation programme has provided for me, I will keep with me for the rest of my life, not just the 3 years I'm at university for. The summer school provided us with such an insight, and it was like a behind the scenes to joining university. We got to meet teachers, we got to see the actual university on the inside, and when you go through induction, you don't get to see all like the behind the scenes things. You don't get to see the lecture theatres and like the canteen and the hall, just little like small things that don't seem that important to other people, but when you walk into uni and you know you've already seen it and you know where everything is so important for me as a person, because I'm so nervous, and going in somewhere and knowing exactly what I'm doing filled me with so much confidence going into university. It was fantastic. Then in June we got to go on our London residential, which was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my life. I got to do things I've never done before, and if I hadn't have joined this scheme I would have never had the experience to do. We went to Channel 4, Facebook, House of Parliament. It was just amazing, and we had the best time with all my friends and with a load of teachers and people that supported me and wanted to be there with us. It was so many things, and you learned and you got to speak to such important people that gave you all these life tips that I would have never had before. And it helped me so much in creating my CVs and looking for job opportunities that work best for me and what I wanted to do with my career. And it's just tips that other people won't get to ever have. Then there's all the small things that the First Generation programme provide that other people don't even hear about, and they don't think it's that important. But for me, just to have that constant support and reminder that they're there is so important. Things like the Christmas parties and the virtual check-ins when we've had COVID-19. It's just meant so much to know that I've had people there providing and supporting me. Helen gives us a phone call, she sends us an email. Knowing that you have someone that is always going to be there for you and understands what you're going through just makes you feel so much better on your whole situation. Is it's so nerve-wracking, and you just feel supported consistently. It's not just the first year you're at uni, the second year you're at uni. I'm in my third year coming to the end, and I still have constant check-ins. I have mentors checking on me. I don't think I will ever be able to thank the people that created this programme and worked for this programme enough for the constant support and donations that they have given. It benefits people so much more than you would think. And for someone like me, who has gone from having no support at all to being overwhelmed with the amount of experiences and help that I have been given, it's just fantastic. And I can only hope that this carries on for hundreds of years, because I just want people to experience what I have, and I'd love for my brother to be able to go through what I've gone through, and if he ever wants to join university, because it's just been fantastic and it's changed my whole outlook on university, and I know it wouldn't have been the same for me if I didn't have the support that I had. So thank you to everyone that made the scheme, the people that donate towards it, and most importantly to people like Helen and Matt that constantly provide us with the support that we need, because I don't think you realise how much you do to change our whole life really within university. And I know I wouldn't have got by in the past 3 years if I didn't have the support that you gave us. So thank you everyone very much.